Good embroidery and digitizing starts with good artwork from the start. And this is what I got from a potential customer to digitize, and it just wouldn't do. However, if you have Illustrator, I'm going to show you how you can take most fonts and most logos and straighten them out so you can have a good experience and digitize super fast if you need to with most letters and most fonts. I'll leave that caveat. Before we get started though, a lot of people don't have Illustrator or don't want to pay the subscription. So I found this Affinity Designer. It is pretty much just like Illustrator. It does what you need for vectors, which is what you need for digitizing. If you want clean digitized files, I highly suggest you start with a vector and not JPEGs. We'll get into that in other videos. However, what I wanted to show you was this is no monthly fee, $50, even $13.99 for the iPad. So go grab that if you don't have an Illustrator. I'm not affiliated with this, obviously. I just saw that this was a really good deal, no monthly fees. All right, let's move on. So what I did here was I just got lucky enough to see that this font was really close to Arial black, and so it wasn't really hard, but what's really cool about this is what's going to happen in a hatch. But I wanted to show you what you could do if you are, I'm holding down shift by the way, so this font will stay in one place. If you are in this situation, so you right click, create outlines, and then you can just stretch this out here with this particular font, and that fit really nicely. The next thing you could do is let's do it again. And again, here's where creating outlines makes a difference here. So let's create outlines, and that basically just makes it a vector, what we talked about. Then you're going to get your direct selection tool, and you get these little dots. And this is where things got interesting, because I was able to just make the font just like, now I'm pretty sure that my customer pretty much probably did this anyways, but he didn't have the original file, and I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this, right? So you need to click on these nodes and they'll move like you want to. So I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this. And this is kind of like the flagship of his logo anyways, right? So that was really simple to recreate. Now we have one more letter here. Let's do it. And let's stretch this out. You can kind of see how this thing is lining up. And that's a done deal. Obviously I had already done this. I like to do this kind of work beforehand. So let's take a look at what I came up with. We can hide this layer here. Now here's where the magic happens inside of Hatch. Let's grab this. Now let's look at how huge this is. This is, and you'll see how huge it is in Hatch, but we'll just right click and copy. But this is what's cool about vectors. You'll never get that pixelation again, and you can stretch this out as big as you want to, and like this is huge, and you'll never get any pixelating at all. So vectors is what you want to start with inside of Illustrator. So when you bring it over to Hatch, especially with letters, you can do this. So here, what's really cool, there's no like no monkey business. You just hit your paste in there, and it's going to be sitting right there for you. Now, see how big this is, right? So this is 6 inches. Let's make it at 1.5 inches. And like I said, here's where the magic happens. Now, usually you don't want to auto digitize, but you can with things like this. And so that's done. That's auto digitized, done. And that's a done deal, because all you're doing, all I'm doing, he didn't want any satin stitches or anything like that. So all I'm doing is a simple logo for him on like a left chest. So we'll do some outlining here. Let's close this up. And this right here is really cool, especially if you're not going to be charging for let's say maybe you're not charging for the digitizing, or maybe this is just somebody you're trying to convert into a customer. You want to give them some free swag so you can get them to, for lead magnets. It's just really easy, really quick to, people love to see their names on shirts or hats or what have you. And that's a done deal. I did that super quick. And if I wanted to make this a patch, all I would have to do is just create a circle here, or an oval, put a border around there, and you have a patch. You can throw this on a hat. And then also, because this is so large, I can send this out, or I have a DTF machine. I can put this on the front of a shirt or the back of a shirt, along with some the company motto or what have you. I didn't want to make this a super long video, but I wanted to show you the importance of it. I'll be doing more videos on this. The importance of starting with vectors. I very rarely use, now you might say, why didn't you just use the fonts inside of Hatch? Because these fonts aren't going to be as clean as when you digitize it yourself. And when you start, and another advantage of this, I'll show you this. This is all one piece, right? So if you bring out another font, you'll notice that it'll start with 3 or 4 pieces. When you do it this way, you have one piece and there's no breaks in the font. It's just one smooth piece. So that's another advantage. I'll be doing other videos on this in the future. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.